Hey guys, Johnny Sunshine here. It's about 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. I've got this water heater here that I pulled out today. It failed after 8 years. Definitely, I want to see what this anode rod looks like. Sometimes, guys, you get a bad heater, man. You know, they make millions of these things. And sometimes you get a bad one. That's why they give them a warranty. And, you know, just like Bradford White and all the other manufacturers, they have a warranty for a reason, because this shit fails every once in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this out. I'm going to make a tool to try to get this styrofoam out easy, because it's a real issue. It's messy. Today that shit got all over the guy's weights. Luckily I had a Milwaukee blower, you know, 12-volt blower that I could blow all that shit out of his garage and clean it up real good. But you know, if I'm going to be doing these, I need to make it easier, a simpler process. And I want to see what this anode rod looks like. And then tomorrow morning I may even cut this thing open. But in the meantime, I've got you know, fucking mosquitoes the size of sparrows chewing on my ankles, so I gotta hurry up. Alright guys, so first thing I'm gonna do is dig this cap out. It's easy, go in, down, and pop it up. So my idea is to take this, this is just tubular, 1.5 inches. I'm gonna sharpen it up with this grinder, and hopefully it's gonna help me. This isn't actually a good blade for sharpening that, but I'm gonna give it a try. I don't know, let me just try it without it. I was thinking, you know, that maybe just hammering this thing down will get that shit out. I did want to cut some teeth on it. I guess I could probably use a hole saw by hand. You see, it took it out. I think if it was sharp or a hole saw would work better, but I'm not gonna, you know, use a drill with a hole saw. All right. So that's not working good. You gotta go back to the drawing board on that tool. But that's really not what I want to see. I want to see why this water heater failed. Because the fucking critics are out tonight about that video. Hater bail! Hater bail! So I put a comment up for one guy who's from Tennessee. I didn't even think they needed a fucking plumbing license out there to plumb outhouses. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Anyways, I told him, hey man, you got issues with what I did today, son? And he listed a whole bunch of them. I said, man, call in tomorrow. Call in tomorrow and we'll have a chat, son, right on camera. You know, and I'll explain to you why I do what I do. Because Johnny knows the code, Jack. That's all I'm telling you, boys. Don't whiskey me. All right. So let's see if I can get this thing out without vacuuming. All right. Well, that'll tell you everything. The anode rod is gone, y'all. Ain't one, it don't exist. Some bitch is gone. So tomorrow I'm gonna cut this bottom off of this water heater, see what's actually left of that anode rod. But I am looking forward to talking to this guy. Some of you guys, I think this is gonna be a new episode, a new thing I want to do with my channel is, you know, for you keyboard cowboys out there, I want to give you a chance. Instead of, you know, being a faceless person with big balls, I want to give you a chance to call me up. Show me your manhood, son. Show me you're willing to fucking, you know, talk it out. And I'll explain why I do shit. And I'm pretty sure I'm right. So we can do that. Instead of hate, it's gonna be hater mail with a twist. It's gonna be hater mail with a phone call. So we can hash this shit out and explain why. I don't want to give away the story about this guy, but he hit me on, why no expansion tank? You need to be marking those pipes for shock bite fittings to know that they're inserted properly. Listen, bud, I'm 37 years in on this fucking trade. If I don't know when a fucking fitting's seated by now, I'll never know. That's for homeowners, that little marking tool. You know? The fuck, man? You don't know how to I don't want to... Well, I'm just going to tell you what his comments, this dude from Nashville, talked about expansion tanks, talked about shock bite fittings. What else did he say? A bunch of dumb shit. He don't know fucking crap about plumbing houses in Florida. And I'm hoping he calls me, man. I hope he got that message. Tomorrow we're gonna have a nice morning chat. But this water heater's shot, Jackson. Water conditions, whatever. This anode rod did not fucking make it. So this new water heater that I put in for this guy has a Coro Protect in it. Supposedly he's gonna bring this thing out to 20 years, man. Only time will tell. My guess is within a couple of years, Ream or A.O. Smith or somebody is gonna write this guy a big check and just put him out of business, you know, shut him up. Kind of like they do with the fossil fuel industry. Every time somebody comes up with a good idea to fucking replace them, they buy them out and bury the fucking idea. Just the way it is, guys. You could love me or hate me, but that's just the way it is, Jackson. And I can tell you, I'm gonna put some of this shit down in here, some of this styrofoam, and I'm gonna fill this water heater up before, and I'm gonna show you how that styrofoam is gonna come right out that hot side. So that's the most critical thing. I think Coro Protect, if they were smart, they'd figure out they'd make a nice plastic tool with some teeth that spins, and you can drive it down in here and pull the plug out, you know, pull that whole piece out and then do a little bit of cleanup on the bottom. And that's a tool idea for anybody who wants to get creative. Johnny's always thinking, guys. Johnny is always fucking thinking of a better way to do shit. So much for this video. Hey guys, so I just finished with that water heater. It's obvious that there was no anode rod in there. If anything, it's just a piece of metal, a rod, and that's where he was getting all that rust from. They were down to the steel rod that holds the anode rod together. But I want to tell you something about, you know, I mentioned people talking and making comments on the channel and not based in anything other than just wanting to sling mud. I've been doing plumbing here for a long time, man. I've been in business for like 28 years now. I started plumbing in Sarasota in 1988. I'm well versed in the code. I built thousands and thousands of fucking houses. That's no word of a lie. Do a search in Sarasota County and see how many permits have been pulled in my fucking business name. It'll come up and say the file is too large. So that's the deal. But I want to talk to you a little bit about talk and how cheap talk is. I just watched a Mikey Pipes video, and he's always got a lot of good advice, you know, for business and how you should do things, and that's great. A lot of it is absolutely true. But if you're not walking the talk, that's a fucking problem. Making big promises and not delivering on them. At the end of this video where he went to a house, the call was, my relief valve is dripping. Well, there could be a lot of reasons why that relief valve is dripping. You don't just fucking replace the relief valve and walk away from the job. He looked up at the top of the heater and he realized that whoever installed it put a check valve in on the cold line, isolating the expansion tank and the vacuum breaker that needs to be on those hybrid water heaters. So that they had no protection, no expansion. I'm sure in Florida it was on a closed loop system, had a backflow out at the street. But the call was, you know, I have a drippy relief valve. You don't just go and replace the relief valve. You fucking, you know, diagnose the issue and you fix it, man. You don't fucking put a new relief valve in. It probably didn't even need to be replaced. It was doing its fucking job, man. So there's a lot of people who talk a big game, but they don't deliver. He, in his spiel at the end, you know, his canned spiel about his businesses and what they offer and the service they provide and all this bullshit about a fully stocked truck. And you know what? He didn't even have a 3/4 inch CPVC fucking coupling on that truck. So that's what I'm getting at when I say, you know, over promising and under delivering. You know, my motto is under promise and over deliver. And I don't have an issue with that. I would have fixed that problem. For one thing, the goddamn check valve isn't even needed. I don't know why it's there, but I would have just cut it out and put a new section of pipe in there, man. If you didn't have a check valve, and I believe it was a shock bite check valve. If he wanted to reuse that thing, he could have. So sometimes it gets frustrating watching these videos. I mean, putting videos up, it takes a lot of effort. And you get the mudslingers. And so I think my idea about, you know, if you got an issue with what I'm, and there's a whole handful of you out there. I know your handles, but I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. But if you want to, you know, play tit for tat with me, I say give me a call. It's easy to find my phone number for my business. And if you want to call me between 8 and 9 every morning, give it a go, brother. I'll put it on camera. Put the fucking phone on speakerphone. I've got my code books right in front of me. And I will pick your fucking comments apart. Trust me. So anybody who wants to man up and do that, let's go, man. I'm down. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Instead of hiding behind your screen and rat-a-tat-tatting on your keyboard, bring it. Call me up, man. Let's discuss this shit. Maybe I could teach you a few things.